Yo, what is good, guys? So usually when I do tournament review, right, I'll do big tournaments and whatnot. I've yet to review my own replays, so I figured Uber's open up, right? I was gonna record this live, but I don't like recording tourney games live because I choke, I get nervous and shit. Y'all see me ladder, you know I'm ass. So I was like, all right. I was in a call with friends or something. I went dead silent though. Anyway, this is for round 2. Uber's open. Round 1, I got a bye. Round 2, before playing this guy, Mr. Don Bone Jones told me this guy's very good at UU. But like, I'm playing a formidable opponent. I'm playing somebody who's real, right? I've got this team before. I ran this for Unviable to the top with NDW. It seems really good. I think I'm gonna arm T it at some point if I get a peek with it. It's really good because you got a lot of things that like to lure out Ting Lu. You got like Life Orb Miraidon, which lure out Ting Lu. Hold up, while we're here, let me just. Fuck, I might be cucking myself, but I'll leak the teams. Hold up, why is this so? Oh my god, nope, that is the wrong team. This is the team I ran. I got Life Orb Miraidon, Scale Kurai, SD, E-Speed, Arceus, Black Glasses Gambit, and then here NDW. Terra Steel for Glastrier, so you can beat it under Trick Room. Meteor Beam, Moongeist, Psyshock, Trick Room. It's pretty basic stuff. But, oh, whoops. That is... I know how to switch tabs. Anyway, I'm just prefacing the game, right? How the team works. Got shit that likes to lure out. Mostly Miraidon really likes to chip Ting Lu. Then NDW can honestly clean up most teams, right? This next best special wall next to Ting Lu's Ho-Oh. Which gets fucking nuked by Meteor Beam. So, yeah. Let's just get right into it. Right, yeah. I'll do that. I'll explain all the turns as we go. I led Miraidon because, why did I lead Miraidon? I don't know why I led Miraidon now that I'm looking back at it. Because, oh yeah, I thought into Glamora they were probably going to lead Eternatus. So I figured Miraidon to Eternatus, I can just get a Draco off. Or an Electro Drift if I want to read the Arceus Fairy. Get a nice 50 off on the Ting Lu if I get a Draco turn 1. But they ended up leading with Scarf Kurai. It was pretty obviously Scarf, so I knew it was pretty safe to go into Glamora, right? Worst case, they like Dragon Claw to a KO me. I get Toxic Spikes up, and they're forced to go to Eternatus, which gives me, lets me get ahead with Miraidon. But most likely, I was like, a U-turn's coming out. If they're leading with, just this is a rule. If they lead with Koraidon, odds are that motherfucker is Scarfed, alright? That's just a pretty basic rule of thumb. Anyway, lead the Glamora, U-turn. Get up the Toxic Spice, so now they're kind of forced to go to Eternatus. I think I misplayed here. I should have always mud-shotted turn... I think I should have always mud-shotted turn 1. But I knew they were going to go for their own T-Spike, so I know I have to save Glamora because my team actually hard loses to T-Spikes. Right? My team hates T-Spikes, if you look at this team. So I knew I had to save it. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. So anyway... I think I played this fine. I should have always mud-shotted turn 1 instead of going up for the spike. I know Dynamax can and never Okos from here because he's pretty obviously Spidef. So I can Mortal Spin here. They'll probably go for another T-Spike, so if they go for that, I can mud-shot for pretty free. I can Mortal Spin here for free because either they kill me and I get rid of a Toxic Spike, or they go into Necrozma where I can pretty freely go into King Gambit. Unless they're EQ, and if they are, worst case, I just go back into Glamora. King Gambit's good this game, but it's not the greatest thing of all time. You got a whole Arceus Fury and a Ho-Oh, so if it's going to be good this game, I'm going to have to Terra it. So that was the plan. I was like, if I Mortal Spin on the Necrozma, it's not the end of the world. So I can just go hard King Gambit. And they double into Cry, which is fine, I think. I can just go back into Glim and sack it just to get rid of the T-Spike. And I have that Spike up, which is going to stay up. It's going to hit a lot of his team. It's going to hit the Koraidon. It's going to hit the Ting Lu if it's not Boots. And yeah, the Ting Lu is Boots. Here, this is where I think they fucked up the first time. I think they should have always gone Eternatus here. Yeah, it lets me go Miraidon, but then they can switch into Ting Lu. Because if I go Koraidon here, right, I can blitz for so free into Arceus Fairy. And with the sun up, with the Spike and the T-Spike, that thing gets 2 KO'd so easily under the sun. So, that is what I end up doing, but... They get greedy, they stay in. I don't think this was a good play. I had a full HP Miraidon on the back. I don't know. Maybe this person doesn't play the tiers much. I think this was a bad play, sacking it when you have a whole Ho-Oh. This was offensive Ho-Oh, which I realized by the fact that it took 80 from Scale Shot. So from here, this is the world's freest Flare Blitz. I had no reason not to Flare Blitz, because Arceus Fairy is pretty telegraphed, and that Oko's Ho-Oh from there very easily. But now that the sun is gone, Arceus Fairy does threaten a KO back on me. So I think the recovery there was pretty obvious, but there was nothing I could do. Here I wanted to check if they were Wisp, so I went into Miraidon. Worst case, they Judgmented here. The fact that the Tinglu's already at 50 means... I don't want to say Miraidon has more or less done its job, but it's fine, right, from here. So I just wanted to check for Wisp, because it's going to Wisp or T-Wave. If it's in front of a King Gambit, I don't think it's going to attack. It's going to Wisp, T-Wave, or Phase me out. I don't think you would attack right in front of a King Gambit. So I checked here for Wisp, and it does turn out to be Will-O-Wisp. Here, this is the first crazy play. I know there's no way they're going to Sand. They need that Arceus Fairy HP just so they don't get 6-0'd by Scale Shock Rhydon. So, you know, I click a little Draco Meteor on the Switch, you know, because I'm kind of nice like that. No, I'm joking. But they get rid of the T-Spikes. This is the very rare CM Taunt Miraidon. I went CM Taunt Life Orb because this King Gambit should be Balloon, but without it, this team kind of does not love the stall matchup, and I don't like... Glamora into stall. Stall usually wins that. Especially Dondozo stall. This team hates facing Dondozo stall, which is why I was like, yeah, I need Miraidon Life Orb to just beat Blissey and whatnot. So I taunt on the very obvious Dragon Dance, and now that he's revealed Dragon Dance, if he reveals Photon or EQ here, or sorry, if he reveals EQ, he's Photon Geyser as well. If he reveals Knockoff or Sunsteel Strike, then he's Knockoff and Sunsteel Strike. On Necrozma, the pairings, there's 3 possible pairings, right? The most common is Knockoff and Sunsteel Strike. The second most common is Photon EQ, and the least common is Sunsteel Photon. Sunsteel Photon gets walled by any Steel type, but in certain matchups, it is very good. So I go into the King Gambit. He reveals Knockoff, so now I know that he's Knockoff Sunsteel. So I figured they kind of want to keep this Necrozma, right? If they can Terra it, it's still kind of good into Arceus and whatnot. So into the King Gambit, what I do, I think he's probably going to go Arceus Fairy here. I think this is a bad hard switch from him, because I know that I'm not threatened by this. I click I-Head on the switch. So take out that Arceus Fairy. And I think from here, with how chipped the Ting-Lu was, this is just such a hard game for them to win. Just with the full HP NDW in the back. I just click Trick Room after this, and then I just win. I just need to get rid of Ting-Lu. Into the Ho-Oh. They sub up here. The worst thing this thing can do is like Terra Ground EQ here. But even then, I know I was fine. I had Arceus, I had Scale Shock Rhydon. So I knew I was more or less fine. They recover here. This was a god-awful recover. They should have fully attacked here. I don't know what they were trying to recover for. You know, Draco Meteor here is incredibly free. Ting-Lu does live, which is fine. Yeah, I just need to take this out. So now that the Ting-Lu's gone, this team just loses to NDW. Like, outright. So they bring in the Koraidon. I was pretty sure they were going to U-turn here, but I also thought I don't need my Koraidon anymore. I just need to get my NDW in. It doesn't matter on what. It just can't be Necrozma Duskmane, because it takes too much from Knockoff, and I need to keep my Power Herb for the Meteor Beam to nuke Ho-Oh. So they do end up U-turning there. Scale Shot's incredibly free here for me. I could just attack. They can kill me back. It's fine. I think if they had a Terra Fairy here, they should have fully used it. But this game was impossible to win for them anyway. I think just from here, just if this Ho was defensive, maybe. So now I got Arceus up here. I'm just gonna... What do I do? Yeah, I just E-Speed to kill it. In front of this Necrozma-Dawn-Wings, I think because it took 14 from... Took 14 from E-Speed. I'm pretty sure this is not defensive. I'm pretty sure this is faster Dragon Dance. Just because it takes so much from Shadow Claw. I'm almost sure Fizz Def should only be taking like 30, I think? Or maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm making stuff up. Shadow Claw is really weak. Anyway, this Arceus gets a KO here. It's the Terra Ghost here is pretty obvious. I'll just let it play out. Sorry, I'm like saying the turns before they happen. The Terra Ghost here is pretty obvious, but there wasn't much I could do. And it didn't matter anyway at this point. I just Sucker Punch with King Gambit. It's obvious there's Scarf. Or what I did here. I Trick Room with Necrozma, and then we just win, right? Click Moongeist Beam, and then... Did I even Terra? I don't think I Terra this game. No, I did not. And then I Meteor Beam on the Ho-Oh, just to give him that 90% chance of missing. I don't know, maybe I could have lost. Maybe. I don't know. But that was game 1. I played that game super aggressively. I was like, okay, that was a pretty well played game. For game 2, I had to think what team do I want to pull out. I said I'm gonna put Unviable to the top in a fucking tournament. So I took, also because this guy brought T-Spikes. I didn't want him to bring T-Spikes again, and I lose to that because a lot of my teams lose to T-Spikes pretty bad. I brought this. I think Oreo was meant to use this in seasonal at some point. I had a Zamazenta-Crowned, so I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna run up this Zamazenta-Crowned team. This shit looks fire. Webb's team. So we got game 2. We queue this Webb's team into just hard balance. Mirai-less balance, honestly. The fact that he didn't bring Mirai is so good for me. If you look at his team, if we can get rid of that Eternatus and Gliscor, just that's the first thing I noticed. Gliscor not so much because it can't hurt me much, but if I can, and it can't phase me out, but if I can get rid of that Eternatus, Zamazenta just wins outright. So, turn 1, I figured they would lead. This is pretty obviously Scarf Koraidon. I saw 2 possible leads. I thought they would lead with Korai or Gliscor, to be completely honest. Korai, Gliscor, or even Eternatus, just to get up T-Spikes early. So I led with Miraidon. I led with Miraidon, honestly, hard sniping that Gliscor. Because I was like, if I can get a Draco off early on this team, that'd be amazing. Instead, they lead Tinglu, I guess, just to get rocks up early in the game, which, you know, makes sense. So I just taunt the Tinglu turn 1. Can't have it getting up hazards. I'm fine with my Mirai getting chipped. Just go hard into Koraidon. The Koraidon HP isn't too bad. Into this, if you look at their team in Scale Shot Koraidon, they do not like Scale Shot Koraidon. They go hard into Gliscor, I click Scale Shot. Get the 5-hit, which is nice. I could have SD'd there, but I didn't want them. I didn't want to take too much damage from Ruination. Anyway, the Protect here is incredibly obvious, so I just Swords Dance on their Protect. And I could have gone for the Blitz here, but I wanted the second Scale Shot boost, just in case I was Scarf Korai. They can even go for the Speed Tie. This is an incredible position. So they bring out Arceus Water here. I debated. I thought they would Terra Fairy here, so I debated clicking Flare Blitz, but I thought that was too aggressive. I'll just get my chip damage on this. If I force a Terra early, that's amazing, right? So I clicked the low kick. I actually calculated this. I think Fizdef takes 92 max, so this thing was not max Fizdef. I think it might have been a roll, but I thought the worst thing he can threaten me with is Dragon Tail or Will-O-Wisp, but this is the Ice Beam set. I've like never seen Arceus use Ice Beam. I don't know how you can even slot it. From here, I just U-turn. U-turn's incredibly free, right? U-turn actually kills Arceus from there. So I U-turn out into Zamazenta-Crowned. They should have 100% switched here. They have a whole Eternatus. But I think they just did not... They wanted to break Rubambi Sash or something, just in case. I'm not sure what the play was here. This was not a great play, in my opinion. Anyway, I just body pressed. So taking that Tinglu down that low, they sealed the fate of the game right there. Because from there, that just means Eternatus has Terra, Agility, and it just wins. Like, no ifs or buts about it. From here, I don't want to hard switch into anything. Zamazenta is kind of useless from here. Phases me out. This E-Killer would win from here, but the thing is it's detailed, so it can get phased out. So I know I just need to get rid of this Eternatus to win pretty much. Or get a free switch into something. I just kept chipping it. And then they started going for detail, they missed. Then when I saw them start to click Flamethrower, I was like, okay, you know what? I can't keep that T-Spike up. I can go power into my own Eternatus. Even if they do hard read it, worst case scenario, I just go into my E-Killer. E-Killer has EQ. I also have Miraidon. Miraidon just lets a Draco fly. So it's pretty hard for them to win from this position. They decide to go for the recover here. Here, I Dynamax Cannon. And Dynamax Cannon put him in range. Barely put him in range of Terra, Fire Blast. I think it was like an 87.5% chance to KO. That was a pretty easy win there. When they went into Scarf Korai, I think this was... I don't think there was much of a... You can't win from here because I just click Agility, right? And then I outspeed your own Scarf Koraidon. So Agility on that. And then take out the Tinglu, right? So then when they bring out this Eternatus back, I was like, okay, this is probably... Odds are this is going to Terra Fairy. just a defensive Terra. So I was like, there's no point in Dynamax cannoning. I'll just click Meteor Beam, do as much damage as I can. But you know, I end up just looking like God because they end up matching my Terrafire and eating a Meteor Beam to the face, which they don't tank. And I end up taking the open set in 2. Yeah, this was a pretty fun set. I'm happy I got to use these cool guys, and this was a pretty fun game for me to play. If you guys enjoyed this video and want me to do more tournament review stuff, I guess, let me know. It's always fun for me to look back on my own replays, you know, stroke my own ego. That's a joke, but I'm being serious. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, sub, like, all that good stuff, and peace.